Well, the November ballot is still kind of taking shape right now. We still have some states, some areas of certain states that have yet to do primaries, so we're not 100% sure who all will be on the ballot, but we do have a pretty good idea. And right now we know that at least as of today, there are going to be no fewer than 15 QAnon-linked Republicans on November's ballot. 15 followers of these outrageous conspiracy theorists that popped up online within the last 3 years. This is a group, by the way, that law enforcement officials at the FBI have identified as dangerous and as a threat. One of them, one QAnon believer, QAnon follower, was actually arrested not that long ago as she live streamed her attempt to go murder Joe Biden. She was on a mission, a QAnon mission, to go murder Joe Biden. Yeah. But Republicans tell us Antifa is what we need to worry about, right? Oh, those people that have never killed anybody, never been arrested for plotting to kill someone. Those are the ones we should be worried about. But deep down, Republicans know that QAnon are the folks we should be worried about. And we know that because they're actually worried about it. You see, the Republican Party is not happy that QAnon has decided to hitch their little wagon to the Republican Party. They're not happy that they're going to have members of their party embracing QAnon on the campaign trail. And some of these Republicans, unfortunately, do look like they are in a position to win. Most of them will not. Most of them are going to go down in a blaze of glory in deep blue districts against incumbent Democrats. They have no chance of winning at all. But in other areas, there are some areas where these QAnon believers have actually challenged incumbent Republicans in the primaries and won. They're in red districts. They have a good chance of winning their elections. But the Republican Party is a little less certain about that. They think that these QAnon followers, because this is crazy, they think it could cost them those seats. And to be honest, I hope it does. I have to read this. From Vice News. Last year, an FBI bulletin from the Bureau's Phoenix field office described conspiracy theory-driven extremists as a growing threat and singled out QAnon and its predecessor, Pizzagate. And yet, candidates running for office are sharing slogans associated with QAnon either because they believe it or because they think it will help win support from MAGA types. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Trump has shared at least 90 tweets from 49 QAnon accounts. And that's according to an analysis by Media Matters. So yeah, the Republican Party itself is not happy. Because believe it or not, there actually still are some grown-ups within the Republican Party. Now, these are grown-ups I disagree with on every single issue. These are grown-ups that would love to strip you of every right you have and allow corporations to pour toxic waste right on top of you. They don't care about you at all. They care about money. But they're grown-ups and they understand that crazy is crazy. And they don't want to be associated with it. They have no problem being associated with death and destruction and pollution, but crazy, they draw the line at crazy. And they don't want this on the ballot representing them. But here's the problem. You can't even blame this on Donald Trump, right? The Republicans love to blame everything on him. Let's pin it all. It's all from Trump, all from Trump. No, folks, this QAnon conspiracy about this whole, this pedophile ring being run from the federal government is the extension of decades worth of crazy Republican talking points getting more and more extreme every election cycle. Democrats are baby killers. No, they're not. But y'all have been saying that for decades. Straight up saying that Democrats kill babies. Not the case. You have been saying that Barack Obama was actually born in Kenya. You were saying that there was going to be death panels from the Affordable Care Act. Sarah Palin helped push that one. Y'all have been saying these crazy ass things for decades. And QAnon is the natural evolution of that. You've been promoting conspiracy theories that you knew were not true, but you say them because you think it'll win you elections. It's only natural that you would do this so much, so frequently, and with such ferocity then an entire movement would sprout up because of it. And that's what QAnon is. QAnon is the culmination of years of Republican lies. That's what they are. And the Republicans were okay with it before it had a name. They didn't mind all of these crazies going out there and spreading the death panel conspiracy, spreading the Muslim conspiracy, the Kenya conspiracy, the baby killing conspiracy, because it helped them win votes. Other conspiracies that are just as crazy as this is that Democrats want to come door to door and take your guns. Democrats want to take your guns. They're going to take your guns. They're going to take your guns. They're going to round you up, put you in camps. That's actually what Republicans are pushing. Hell, the guy that created Dilbert, what's his name? Scott Adams, I think. He actually posted on Twitter just a few days ago that if Joe Biden wins election, most Republicans are going to be dead by the end of the year. He's going to kill them. And he's not even a QAnon type as far as I know. He just draws Dilbert. They're all QAnon, folks. That's the point. Whether they want to wear that label, whether they want to do the WW1GOT, but whatever the hell their stupid hashtag is, it doesn't matter. They're all a part of it. If you're a Republican and you have at any point in the last 40 years gone out there and said one of these ridiculous talking points that I have mentioned in this, congratulations. You're part of QAnon. Whether you want to be or not, you're a part of it. And your insanity, your desperation to win at all costs created this group. You own it. That's your kid. Or, better analogy, I guess, would be that's your monster, Dr. Frankenstein. That's yours. You own it. You created this thing. Piece by disgusting, decrepit piece. You sewed it together. And then you brought it to life. But then you saw that it couldn't be controlled. It had grown into its own thing. It started making demands. It started to think. And now you're terrified of what it could do to your party, as you should be. And yet you are still out there trying to disavow this monster, but spread the monster lies. Democrats are going to take your guns. Democrats are going to kill you all by the end of the year if Biden wins. Democrats want to force everybody to get gay married. Democrats want to make abortions mandatory. Democrats want to do away with all genders. Nobody has any gender at all anymore. All these weird, crazy things are creating a new monster. Maybe it'll be weaker than the one you've already created. Maybe it'll be stronger. Who knows at this point? But you have to own it. Because this monster that is rampaging through this country, this monster that's going to be on at least 15 different ballots this year, that's your monster. And you may hate it. You may not be happy about the fact that that monster has an R next to its name. But you spent 40 years creating it. And you can't run away from it now.